inside and I saw Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. It is written and directed by Lloyd Kaufman, and if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. This was requested by a Patreon. It's like the fast track a movie review. You can do that at patreon.com/ASEPresents. On with the review. Don't mind me, I got a chicken boiling. Just ignore that. This movie starts, we are following Arby and Wendy and they're having sex in a cemetery. Immediately I got bad vibes from this. Please stop having sex on a cemetery or else zombies will come and try to grab you from all different angles and you won't even notice because you're busy having sex. But there's this other guy who's having little wank. He's wanking it to you, but he gets mauled by zombies. This movie is really flippity floppity. First, it's sexual, and then immediately it goes really gory, and then sexual and funny again. The beginning of this movie has to be the funniest part of the movie. I'm laughing with the interaction of Arby and Wendy because Arby and Wendy have this pact, oh, we're high school graduates, we're never going to leave each other, we're going to be with each other forever, which never happens. Wendy is such a liar. We have an entire college semester just goes on, and guess what happens? She's literally having lesbian kissu in front of this chicken establishment where this ancient Indian tribal burial ground is at, and so there's a bunch of these evil spirits. This is a haunted chicken restaurant. Immediately, like, this gives you some bad vibes. The bad vibe is that Wendy is such a liar. She's lying all over the place. Oh, Arby, I didn't realize you'd be here. And he's just like sad because, oh man, where's my graveyard? I want to visit the graveyard, but it's being replaced by this chicken place. Might as well get a job there. Let's go get a job there. And immediately, I hate the cleanliness standards going on here. What are these pulsating eggs? And what's up with all this gross stuff just lying around? If this was an actual fast food restaurant, this would not fly. Fast food restaurants have immaculate cleaning standards. Unless it's poorly managed. But if it's really well managed, everything has to be cleaned every night, has to be cleaned every 15 minutes. Just has to be clean, clean, clean. And there's none of that going on in this movie, which makes me feel sick. They're serving up food, and the food looks disgusting, and anything that's supposed to be hot isn't in a hot plate. Anything that's supposed to be cold is not in a cold plate. We're just throwing stuff on top of each other. They have no gloves on. It doesn't seem like anyone's washing their hands, which makes me so annoyed and pissed off at them. It's like, stop, wash your hands, put gloves on, do any of that, please. I wouldn't eat here. This disgusts me. This movie is disgusting. And I thought it could be the worst thing ever was the fast food cleanliness. No, it's not. This movie gets worse. It takes a good dive down into the gross side of movies because, we got this pulsating egg, we give it to a customer, and then he immediately he has to use the restroom violently and lays an egg. And it's gross. I don't want to even think about it. It just involves a lot of gross body humor. I hate body humor in movies. I thought this was a funny movie at first, and then I went to body humor. I'm like, please stop. And then we have just a bunch of guys standing outside of this chicken restaurant, rightfully protesting it. If they saw the cleaning standards inside, that's just one reason to shut it down. But it's also on top of this burial ground, which is not as much of an issue as this movie makes it seem. The issue is the cleaning standards, man. I would not eat here. If I saw a sign with this particular restaurant's cleaning standards, it would be a 69. It'll be shut down because you have to have a 70 or above for a restaurant to even be in existence to the public to be buying food from it, man. I hate this restaurant. And on top of that, we got guys just laying eggs and then chickens going and eating the hosts of your egg laying. These eggs has, oh, there's chickens. Now we have these demon chickens just all over the place, causing mayhem. And then also there's this guy who gets shredded in the meat shredder. And what's really funny, Arby is really dumb. Oh, where's Jose? Where is he at? And everyone's like, oh, I gave him the afternoon off. And it's clearly a scene that somebody got slaughtered. He's like, okay, I'm just gonna go clean the bathroom now. And he gets like gross stuff all over his hands, and he wipes it all over his face, and he puts the really dirty mop on the produce, on the fresh produce, which he can't cook at all. So it's just going to be E. coli on that fresh produce, and you just gotta throw out that fresh produce. Why are you putting in a contaminated mop next to fresh produce? This movie's health standards are off the charts. It makes me annoyed, it makes me cringe. I was cringing the entire time I was watching this movie. But the interactions with the coworkers, man. Then we have a general who looks like the Colonel Sanders, by the way. He looks like Colonel Sanders dressed in a white suit. His face just in his face, facial hair looks like that. But he's called a general. And he's like, keep them chicken going. Keep this establishment going. This guy is fine. It's like, there's a guy who just got shredded. This guy's dead now. And also, there's a lot of chicken sex. Having sex with raw carcasses of chicken and making out with that chicken? First of all, have you ever heard of salmonella? You're gonna get salmonella, dude. Second of all, how does that chicken have a beak? It doesn't. It's supposed to be a ridiculous movie. And I'm fine with that. But the amount of blood that this guy just sheds while this chicken bites its wiener and it's just like spraying blood everywhere. I'm like, this is more blood than the human body. And then what's really funny, the only way to get this chicken off of his wiener is to have another employee stick a broom handle up his butt through his wiener. And so he's got a really long wiener, and now he's like convulsing, and it's like, dude, what is happening in this movie? This movie is going off the rails. I'm freaking out. I'm like, what? This is so needlessly violent, but it's also awesome in that way and also disgusting. This movie has made me feeling so many different emotions. What is happening in this movie, man? The chicken's infected with this guy's blood and also some sort of green goo. It gets all over the chicken. Then the general gives this chicken to all of the protesters, and the protesters is nom nom nom. I'm like, I know what happens. They're all gonna get sick, and they do. They end up throwing up, and then they all turn into chicken zombies. I'm like, okay, chicken zombies are cool. I like this part. They're all chicken zombies. They're trying to eat the humans that are still alive. My particular favorite gag with the chicken zombies, we have this guy, he's being hung up by two chicken zombies. Oh, make a wish! They're like literally pulling the bones. Like it's like a wishbone, but it's with somebody's leg. I found that to be cool. And also, there's these chicken zombies that are in bikinis with the middle titties, and I enjoyed that. So this movie has a lot of a sex appeal and also gross body humor, and it's got me feeling a lot of emotions. How does Arby and Wendy save the day? Well, they go on a chicken zombie murder spree, and they end up murdering all the chicken zombies in this particular restaurant. They should have been together this entire time. That chick that Wendy was with was actually on the general side the entire time and was doing a weird baby diaper thing with the general in the closet, and I found that to be a little strange, but the most strange part of this movie has to be the eggs. The eggs are so weird. Why are they pulsating? Why do they have veins? They're weird. they look cool, but they're just so strange, man. I liked this part. I liked the part in which they finished slaying all the chickens. Then they get to drive home, and frickin' Arby gives this child in the backseat a beer. I'm like, what? What are you doing? She's not old enough for that beer. She's 6 years old and you're giving her a beer to smash down? No! No, her brain development is bad now. No, you've altered it, dude. No, why'd you gotta do this, Arby? Just cause you suck doesn't mean you have to infect everyone with sucking. But then they drive off and that's the end of the movie. This movie is such a weird roller coaster movie. I don't want to watch this again. I wouldn't recommend anyone watching this unless you really like trauma films. Trauma is trauma. Get it? I like the extras. There's a whole lot of extras. There's some pretty hot extras. And then there's some, whatever extras. But I do like how, with the budget of the movie, it's really goofy. It feels like the budget of the movie went towards the gore. There's a lot of gore. Well done gore, actually. Over the top gore. I was not looking away from the screen. Usually when it comes to gore, I look away because it's too realistic for me and I am very squeamish. But there's so much just over the top gore that just doesn't seem real. I'm like, okay, I can watch this. Just blood spurting everywhere. It's kind of strange. It's really strange movie. I don't know how I could describe this movie other than a funny, sexy, gross time with the supernatural involved. So I gotta give this movie, oh goodness, it's a solid, this movie is a solid 6 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. The platform really likes that. If you want a fast track movie review, you can do the $20 deal. It's at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews, go to this link tree, find the way. You can help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews. So you can go here. And until next time, mint salad saw. I'll see you later to my salad croutons and bacon bits. And by the way, I'm transforming into a chicken right now.